Our story today begins with a kind and gentle young woman named Lucy. She's been lonely ever since her mother passed away when she was a child. And 2 years ago, she lost her father too. Now, Lucy lives alone with no family, quietly dreaming of the day someone might love her, someone to marry, so she won't have to face life by herself. Lucy works for the Chicago Transit Authority, manning the ticket booth at a train station. Every day, she sees the same handsome man walk by, Peter Callahan. He always buys his ticket from her, and though they've never spoken, she's secretly fallen for him. She knows his daily routine by heart and wishes she had the courage to start a conversation. Lucy is sweet and thoughtful. Around Christmas, she brings a small gift to her landlord, who thanks her kindly and introduces her to his son, Joe Jr. Joe is bold and overly confident, and he tries to flirt with her, but Lucy isn't interested and quickly shuts him down. The next day, her co-worker Jerry asks her to work on Christmas Day. Lucy refuses at first. She already covers most holidays, but Jerry teases her, saying she's the only one who's single, which only makes her feel worse. That night, Lucy decorates her Christmas tree alone. The following morning, Lucy is back at work when Peter passes by. For the first time ever, he speaks to her. Just a simple Merry Christmas. She's caught off guard and doesn't know what to say. Peter walks toward the platform, but suddenly, 2 men try to mug him. In the struggle, he falls onto the train tracks and hits his head. Lucy sees it happen and rushes to help. She jumps down onto the tracks and finds him unconscious, desperately trying to wake him before the train arrives. When he doesn't respond and the train gets closer, she manages to roll him off the tracks just in time, saving his life. An ambulance rushes Peter to the hospital, and Lucy goes with him, even though she doesn't know his name. But once they arrive, the hospital staff won't let her in. She's not family. While talking to herself, Lucy quietly whispers that she had hoped to marry him someday. A nurse overhears this and assumes Lucy is his fiancée. Without checking, the nurse brings Lucy inside and starts spreading the news. Peter's fiancée is here. Soon, Peter's family shows up, loud, loving, and deeply worried. They crowd the hospital room, firing off questions and talking over each other. When Lucy tries to explain, the nurse cuts in and confidently confirms that Lucy is Peter's fiancée. The Callahans are stunned. They had no idea Peter was engaged. They start chattering all at once, giving Lucy no chance to correct them. Just then, a police officer walks in and says Lucy was the one who saved Peter's life. Hearing that, the family instantly warms to her. Peter's mother hugs her, followed by his sister. Caught in the chaos, Lucy can't find a moment to tell them the truth. Later, outside the room, Lucy pulls the nurse aside and asks why she said she was Peter's fiancée. The nurse explains that she overheard Lucy talking and assumed it was true. Now Lucy feels trapped. She's especially afraid to speak up because Peter's grandmother has a weak heart. The shock might be too much for her. Soon, a kind man named Saul visits Lucy. He's Peter's godfather and a close family friend. He thanks her sincerely, saying she didn't just save one man. She saved the entire family. With Peter's grandmother in fragile health, he gently hints that the family could really use something to hold on to right now. Things keep getting more complicated. Lucy finds herself sitting with Peter's whole family in the hospital waiting room, all of them watching her with warmth and admiration. Peter's grandmother asks how Lucy met Peter, but before she can answer, the Callahans talk right over her. Later, when she returns home, Joe Jr. is still hanging around, trying to ask her out again. But Lucy brushes him off, uninterested. That night, Lucy visits Peter in his hospital room. He's still in a coma. She sits beside him and talks quietly, to herself and to him. She tells her story, how long she's been alone, how tired she is of the loneliness, and how all she's ever wanted was to belong somewhere, to have a family that loved her. She also admits she had a crush on him, even though she didn't really know him. Unbeknownst to her, Saul is standing just outside the room. He hears every word, touched by her honesty. Quietly, he walks away, leaving Lucy unaware that she had an audience. She falls asleep at the hospital. When she wakes, Peter's family is around her again. His father tells her they haven't had their Christmas celebration yet, and they invite her to join them. Lucy says she has to work, but he encourages her to try to make it. As she's getting ready to leave, a nurse hands her Peter's belongings, still assuming she's his fiancée. Later, Lucy tells Jerry everything that's happened. She admits she doesn't know how to tell the family the truth, especially with Peter's grandmother being so delicate. Jerry reassures her, saying it's okay. Maybe once Peter wakes up, they can figure it out then. That night, Lucy brings a bouquet of flowers and visits Peter's family. She's happy to finally be spending time with people who truly care about her. The Callahans welcome her warmly and even give her a Christmas gift. Meanwhile, back at Peter's apartment, a new twist unfolds. It turns out Peter already has a fiancée. She sends him a voice message, completely unaware of everything that's going on. Later, Lucy ends up spending the night at Peter's place. The next morning, his brother Jack shows up unexpectedly and is surprised to find her there. It's the first time they meet. Peter's sister quickly tells Jack that Lucy is Peter's fiancée, but Jack is suspicious. Something about her story doesn't sit right with him. After Lucy returns to her own apartment, she goes through Peter's belongings that the hospital gave her. Among them, she finds his keys and a packet of cat food. Worried that he might have a cat left alone in the apartment, she rushes over to check. At the same time, Jack arrives at Lucy's building, still unsure what to believe. He asks around and runs into Joe Jr., who, trying to act important, claims he and Lucy are a couple. This only deepens Jack's doubts. Back at Peter's apartment, Lucy searches for the cat. Jack shows up and catches her there. She explains she came to feed Peter's cat. Jack tells her Peter doesn't own a cat. But then, to his surprise, a cat appears. That throws him off. Later, at the hospital, Jack keeps pressing Lucy with questions, trying to figure out if she's really engaged to his brother. Their mother notices and asks Jack why he's being so nosy. Jack admits he visited Lucy's building and met someone named Joe, who claimed to be her boyfriend. The family grows suspicious. Lucy defends herself, saying Joe is just a neighbor who likes to exaggerate. Her honesty, and the fact that she has one of Jack's personal belongings, helps ease their concerns for the moment. Later at home, Joe Jr. shows up again, and Lucy confronts him angrily for telling people they're together when they've never even gone on a single date. Just then, someone knocks on the door. In a panic, Lucy hides Joe in her closet and opens the door. It's Saul. Saul gently tells Lucy that he knows the truth. He heard everything she said to Peter the night she visited the hospital. She apologizes and says she plans to confess soon, but Saul urges her not to. Not yet. He gently explains that if she tells them now, she might lose the only family she's ever had, and they might lose the hope she's given them. Then he quietly leaves. Soon after, another knock. This time it's Jack. Lucy is still upset with him, but Jack has come to apologize. He also brings a gift, something for the engagement. Lucy doesn't let him inside since Joe's still hiding in the closet, and instead walks downstairs with him. They head back to Peter's apartment, where Jack opens the back of his truck to show her the gift. At first, Lucy sees a beautiful rocking chair and is instantly charmed, thinking that's it. But Jack tells her that's not the gift. The real one is a handmade couch. He reveals he's a furniture maker and built the chair himself. Lucy, impressed by his craftsmanship, encourages him to start his own business. The two carry the couch upstairs together, struggling as they squeeze it into the apartment, making a bit of a mess. When they come back down, they find Jack's truck blocked in and can't move it. So they decide to walk back together. As they stroll through the chilly streets, they talk and get to know each other. A connection begins to form. Lucy tells Jack she's always dreamed of visiting Italy. She even has a passport, but no stamps. Jack listens with quiet interest and warmth. For the first time in a long while, Lucy begins to feel at ease. The next morning, Lucy confides in Jerry that she's starting to like Jack. But of course, she can't tell him. He still thinks she's engaged to Peter. She's afraid of losing the family that's finally made her feel like she belongs. Meanwhile, Jack sits beside his still comatose brother and quietly admits that he might be falling for Lucy. Later, while Lucy is at work, Peter's sister stops by to buy a train ticket. She greets Lucy cheerfully. One of Lucy's co-workers overhears the conversation and is stunned. She had no idea Lucy was engaged. Things get even more tangled when Peter's sister casually mentions it, and the co-worker misunderstands, thinking Lucy must be pregnant. The sister, always excitable, quickly spreads the rumor to the rest of the family. Hearing the news, Jack rushes to find Lucy, worried and eager to make sure she's not overexerting herself. He offers to drive her to the party she's heading to. At the party, Jack sees Lucy holding a drink and immediately gets upset. He tells her she shouldn't be drinking, assuming she's pregnant. Lucy is mortified. Feeling embarrassed and overwhelmed, she leaves the party. Jack follows her and apologizes for the misunderstanding, but Lucy has had enough. Frustrated, she snaps at him, tired of all the confusion and false assumptions. Then finally, Peter wakes up. Lucy is nervous about going into the room, but his father gently nudges her forward. Peter doesn't recognize her at all, but instead of being suspicious, the family assumes his memory was affected by the head injury. Now more than ever, Lucy wants to tell the truth, but still, no one gives her the chance. Desperate, she turns to Saul, hoping he'll help her come clean. But Saul backs away. After everything that had happened, Jack offers to walk Lucy home. Along the way, he apologizes for the way he treated her, for being rude, suspicious, and unfair. Lucy accepts his apology, and there's a quiet sense of understanding between them. The next day, inspired by her encouragement, Jack visits his father and tells him he wants to leave the family business and start something of his own, crafting furniture by hand, like the chairs he loves to build. His father supports him wholeheartedly, proud to see his son finally choosing his own path. Back at the hospital, Peter's mother remains convinced that her son has simply forgotten Lucy due to his memory loss. She insists the family help him remember her. Meanwhile, Saul pays Peter a visit and gently nudges him in Lucy's direction. He tells Peter she's kind, beautiful, and truly one of a kind, someone worth holding on to. Confused but intrigued, Peter begins to believe it's possible that he really had been in love with her. Later, Lucy visits Peter to return his things. They share a quiet conversation. Peter, moved by Saul's words and Lucy's warmth, starts to believe there might be something between them. But before anything can be sorted out, Peter's real fiancée walks in. Everything unravels. Still not knowing the full story, Peter, desperate to make sense of things, proposes to Lucy right then and there, convinced this must be fate. Lucy is stunned. She doesn't know how to respond. Deep down, she knows she doesn't love Peter. She's fallen for Jack. Something she never planned, never expected. What once felt like a far-off dream had become something real. Despite her feelings, the wedding is arranged. Right there in the hospital, with Peter still in his gown and hooked to IVs, everyone prepares for the strange ceremony. Lucy shows up, but something in her heart won't let her go through with it. Just as the ceremony is about to begin, Lucy steps forward. She tells the truth. In front of everyone, she confesses that she was never Peter's fiancée, that it all started with a misunderstanding, one she never meant to let grow. She says she didn't know how to stop it once it started, and that she stayed because she fell in love, not just with Jack, but with the entire family. They gave her a place to belong, something she had never really known, and she was scared of losing it. The room falls silent. Then Peter's real fiancée speaks up and confirms it. Peter belongs with her. The confusion finally clears. Lucy quietly leaves the hospital. Her heart is heavy, and once again, she finds herself alone. But not for long, it seems, because sometime later, while she's working at the train station, Jack shows up, and he's not alone. The entire Callahan family is with him. Jack walks up to Lucy, holds out a ring, and asks her to marry him. She says yes. And as the entire family watches, they share a joyful kiss, laughing in between. Not long after, they get married. And for their honeymoon, Jack takes Lucy to the place she's always dreamed of visiting, Italy.
Peter once asked me when it was that I fell in love with Jack. And I told him it was while you were sleeping.
And that's where our story ends. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to Fiction Files. I'll see you soon.